Welcome back. This is Fantastic Pains and How We Hide Them. I'm not Chris.
And I'm not Karina.
But we're here together.
As usual.
For more fun times.
And shenanigans.
We're in a different place today.
Or are we?
And, well, both yes
are
and
we
no.
in the original place?
It is
We're
different
back.
from the place that we were in.
Yeah.
Before this one.
Anyways.
Anywho.
We're couch bound.
Welcome back. We're back and we're happy to be in this room.
Yeah, it's 2025. New couch. New year.
Yeah. Different.
Same old
same
couch. New year.
Same old you. Same old mistakes. What? If this is your first time joining us, welcome to the show. We are a sibling duo podcast / YouTube channel about life with chronic and invisible illnesses and conditions, both mental and emotional.
Because I'm mental and she's emotional.
Yes. And obviously, you know, the physical stuff.
Yeah.
But.
If you want to check us out, we are on YouTube. We're also going to be back on to Spotify.
Yeah.
We should be going back to audio. I am going to arrange that today, actually.
Perfect.
So look forward to that. I'll have a backlog of things to upload and do, so I'll have a very busy week, but we'll be back on Spotify.
Woohoo! No more ads for those of you who don't have premium.
Yeah, well, and being able to listen to us on the fly, walking around. You can also join us.
That's true.
On Discord. If you want to talk. We got to talk to people we haven't talked to in a long time today.
Yes,
it was great.
Our first of the pains.
Yeah, first of the pains, Krieg.
We missed you terribly.
Thank you for being there.
Yes.
And if you want to join us and maybe suggest a topic or just hang out, join our Discord.
Commiserate. Facts on facts.
Facts on facts.
Yes. What is our topic today?
Today, we're talking trauma processing.
Yes.
And trauma
the process
energy.
of trauma processing.
But first.
It is time for the weekly recap.
Check in. I'll go first.
Okay. I don't know. It's been a long time.
Oh my God. Since we recorded our last episode, I think it's been 3 weeks.
Yeah.
We took a holiday break. We burned ourselves out. We crashed out, as the kids say.
We died.
I mean, literally.
A little bit. Yeah. We stopped existing for a little while.
We got to the end of our ropes.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there was no energy to be had. There was no topic, no nothing, no. We couldn't.
No energy. We just couldn't, muster it.
No. So we decided to just call it a break and pick up in the new year, and I think it's working out. Mm-hmm. I feel good today.
I feel so much just rejuvenation.
Yeah.
Already. I'm I feel better.
And that's after a week of work.
Yeah.
That's good stuff.
Fact.
What did we have going? We had holidays. They were good for me at least. I did nothing for most of it.
I know, that's the best part. Was I don't want to.
Yeah. That was my Christmas present to me, not having to do Christmas.
Yeah.
Which sounds really drastic or dire or emo, but I'm not. I needed time.
An expenditure of energy that is not worth it.
I needed to heal and recover.
Yeah.
And process.
You did one Christmas and it wiped you out.
Yeah. Oh my! I was not.
Yeah.
I was such a douchebag. Every other sentence I said was snide and underhanded because I could not stop myself.
Oh God!
I was like, I am in pain. I hate everything right now, and they're forcing me to socialize.
Yes, and I have no more processing power.
No bandwidth.
There's nothing to keep them separated.
They had the chaos.
Yes, it's all bleeding into itself.
Yeah. So we did that.
Mm-hmm.
I survived.
You did.
And then we've just kind of been getting back into the swing of things.
Yep.
We've been sick.
Yes.
We had a 3-week sickness too.
Ugh. It just didn't stop. And I feel like it was we had a week of not sick and then we jumped right back into a new sick.
Yeah.
And that one started the day I went on break essentially. Yeah. So it's been 3 weeks to just now start feeling better.
Yep. We didn't do lives and stuff. We did one today though. That was good.
Yeah.
Thank you again,
It was
Krieg.
really fun. We did do a Friday live.
We did. We got to talk to Ruth finally.
Right?
Ugh, I felt so bad for missing Fridays.
Yeah. It's just hard because it's I don't have a lot. You
don't?
I have just a little bit. And then work eats every bit of energy that I've got.
Yeah, I was gonna say
And then
you're working with like
am
middle schoolers too.
tired.
You're not working with teenagers, like older teenagers.
Right.
You're working with the middle schoolers, which are
Mhm.
definitely more draining.
Well, and it's like it's a ton of paperwork,
Mm-hmm.
and it's a ton of like just moving around at the building. Like I don't stop moving. I've seen other co-teachers co-teach
Yeah.
by like sitting the whole time. Or like sitting
Nah.
next to one kid or another kid the whole
Mhm.
time. And I'm like, I don't do that. I literally do laps
Yeah.
in this classroom constantly. It doesn't stop.
Right. So like chaos.
Yes.
But we did a Friday,
Mhm.
and here we are, and we're back in the office by random happenstance.
Mm-hmm.
Christmas is still happening in the studio,
Yes. There's a tree right where we would record.
but
Normally?
I don't know. This might be it for 2025.
I think it might be actually.
You're the couch.
We're back. We're back to the couch.
It just
baby.
feels right. Vote. All right, everybody, join the Discord.
Couch
Comment
time?
below. Couch or no couch? You tell us what you like, and then we'll disregard it because we're going to the couch anyways. No, I don't mean that. I mean that. I don't mean that.
Part of it.
I mean it enough.
Yeah.
Not in a mean way though.
We're going back to the couch though.
Couch is nice.
couch is nice.
Look at this.
And honestly, it was harder to stay upright. I think part of it is the upright
yes.
because like here we can disappear into couch.
Yeah. If
and
I need
still
to,
be
I can
able
literally
to do
just
what we
lay
need
down.
to do. Yeah. We couldn't do that.
No. Even
in
though we
the
had like the
studio.
big chairs and
I like the studio. The studio is lovely.
Yeah.
But upright is hard lately.
we're coming back, baby.
Yes. I do want this blanket though.
Go for it. That's part of the perks of the couch.
Yes.
We have blankets on hand.
Aha.
Maha. Do you remember that?
I do remember.
Oh my
that.
god. I said that and I was like,
You're like,
sailing
brain, what
school?
was that?
wow. Okay. Do you want to do
We're
a recap?
Throwing back.
She did. I'll do your recap. Shut
Yeah.
up.
Okay.
She was girl. She did girl thing. Shut up. She did holidays, but she didn't do holidays. But she did 2 holidays, and then life was not fun. And then she rested, and then she's been dealing with life,
Yes.
the universe, and everything.
Yeah. Yes.
And I'm all so long, and thanks for all
Yeah.
the fish.
I did injure my ankle.
You did,
At
and you
work,
fell down the
I
stairs.
got stepped on and then I fell down the stairs this week.
Yeah.
I missed a whole day of work because the dogs are like selective about when they will go up the stairs and
Right.
when they're like, I can't, there's snow on it. And you're like, please just come up the stairs. I have to go to work.
Mm-hmm.
Why are we doing this? And then
Then you fall.
you fell down the stairs.
It's just.
I didn't even make it to the dog at that point. I went to go down the stairs and another dog blew past me and I lost my knee and I came down really hard on my hip. And it went, oh my God, I relocated it fully last night.
Oh, good. So progress
Finally.
was made.
Finally.
That's
That thing
good.
was crispy
Yeah.
because it's been out and what happens is it all goes like this. And then my whole pelvis is like this.
Yeah.
It gets like turned
Yeah.
heart-shaped nonsense. So yeah, that's been fun. I've been, stuff and work and being alive is really hard. And I lost a bunch of unintentional weight and I'm trying to figure
Fighting
out
the good
how
fight.
fighting the good fight.
I'm trying to get those calories in
to.
and sticking.
Yeah. And then a coworker commented on my weight the other day and I was mad about that. I'm still salty about
I
that.
don't blame you.
I'm going to stay salty about that too because I was like, don't talk to me like this is like a good thing. Leave me alone.
right.
Leave me alone.
Let's expound on that for a second.
Oh yeah, okay. So
Because well, I honestly I feel like people need to like mind their own business.
right? Can we not comment on each other's bodies?
Right, because you don't know if that
For
how the
real.
other person's dealing
Yeah.
with that or if they're struggling with it. Like we
Right.
don't need to just be like, oh, guess what?
Yeah.
This thing that I noticed about you.
She could have just said like, "Oh, you look really nice in that dress." No, what she said was, "Oh, you're just. I needed to come tell you that you're looking so tiny." And I was like, "Uh-huh.
Watch me put my tiny foot up your
Uh-huh.
ass.
Yeah, I've lost like 15 pounds, more than 15 pounds since
Yeah.
September." And she was like, "Wow, and you didn't have a lot to lose then."
Oh my
And I was like,
God.
I am acutely aware.
People.
Away. And I was salty about it the whole rest of the day.
I don't blame you.
I told somebody else and they were like, ew, can we not comment on each other's bodies?
Literally.
Please. And I was like, right? And I'm like, the next thing I know, they're going to be telling me to go eat a hamburger. And then I'm going to punch someone in the face. Directly in the face.
Gonna let you.
Yeah.
I'm gonna appear out of nowhere and
it'll be like summoning a genie.
Yeah.
He'll
You'll
just
punch them and I'll be there and be like, good call, and then I'll go away.
Yeah.
They'll be like, what the fuck was that? Did a
this.
white guy just appear for a second and say it was cool? Like, yeah, that happened.
That's how you know. Yes.
I'm a mixed kid. I'm not white. They're always in these situations, white washing me.
God. But yeah, so that has been happening. Well, and it's irritating because it's like, it's that damned if you do, damned if you don't thing, where if you have certain bodies, clothing that fits you appropriately, like properly, can then be made to seem inappropriate in a way.
Yeah.
Like you feel like it's inappropriate to wear things that fit you well.
Right.
And I grew up that way. I don't like that. Like,
no, that's like instilled.
Ew. I don't want to do that anymore.
Yeah.
Like,
that's why I wear
but I also don't want to
clothes.
wear things that make me look like a scarecrow in a dress. Like,
right. No, I
don't like it. So I'm just like, nothing fits. I'm uncomfortable in everything. I'm acutely aware of the weight that I have lost. Like, even just now, I was like, the shadows under my eyes are absolutely crazy. So we had to put stuff to give it some reflection, hopefully. But, it's hard. Yep. I don't want to do it.
Well, on that upper of a note,
now
that we're all positive and happy here, let's talk
the
trauma.
The positive note is don't talk about it. Don't comment on people's bodies.
Yeah,
there
just
you go.
don't. You don't need to.
Don't.
There's no point.
It's not your business.
You're not going to gain anything, and they're not helping them. So keep it to yourself.
Yeah. After that PSA, there you go. Now it's a PSA, and it's not sad.
Oh, okay.
Trauma.
Let's talk trauma. So this is kind of born from a conversation I was having with Craig last night, and we weren't getting into specifics, but we were just talking because we hadn't talked in forever. So, like, backstory. It was 1 a.m. and I'm in bed and I'm just doing my thing, dozing off. Yes. And suddenly I get a message from Discord. It's like, Discord friend request. I was like, all right, who is this? And I was like, Craig! And I yelled Craig.
Screams.
At 1 a.m. Jed's like, what? And I'm like, Craig just messaged me, bro. And she was like, who? I was like, Craig, first of the Pains. And she's like, oh. Yeah. Anyways.
Yeah.
So that was fun. But we were talking about how we've all been going through stuff. And she mentioned that, like, the energy drain with processing trauma. Like, when you have those moments when you're like, oh, that was a traumatic experience. That's not a normal, healthy core memory.
Yes.
That's actually painted through a window. And then you have to process it. And
I had one last night.
Hmm?
You remember how our father used to pick us up by our heads?
Yes.
That was one of those where I was like, I wonder what damage you actually did to my spine at that point.
Yeah.
Nice. Thank you for doing that. Healthy.
Fact.
Good plan. So yeah, that's that was one of those. But yeah, no, that is one of those where it's like, oh, wow, that was not a normal thing that occurred in my childhood or in my life.
I've been doing a lot of that, but through, like, looking at different times in my life that I thought were not traumatic, I guess. That makes sense? Like, where you think that was, like, a safe era.
That was a good time.
Right.
Was it, though?
And then I'll remember, like, something and be like, that's actually kind of dark.
Mm-hmm.
And then you go through the process of, like, analyzing, like, first I have to be like, is this real? Like, am I misremembering this to be more dramatic?
Right.
Or did it happen this way?
Yes.
And then you have to be like, why did people allow this to happen? Right?
Yep.
You like, you hit the checks and balances, like sanity check. And then
And then like perspective,
Right.
Where you're like,
exactly.
What?
And then you're applying like
What?
your knowledge of the world that you have now.
Yes.
And you're like, oh shit.
That was not okay.
Yeah, no, I'm not okay with that. I'm not.
I don't like that happened to me in the past.
Here's one.
That's weird and gross.
Here's a fun one that I
Oh no. What is?
I think I've talked about it before, but my stepdad used to get drunk.
Oh.
And then he would, when his friends were over, he would pull me over and show them that I don't have pressure points.
Oh yeah.
He would find like the hand points and the neck and the arm and push on these really sensitive pressure points, and I would not react.
Yeah.
That was the whole thing.
Yeah.
It hurt like a motherfucker, but the point was that I wouldn't react, and it was like, oh, it looks so cool. That's not a normal thing you can do to a child.
That's the thing. Like, growing up chronically ill and then living the like, oh, I have a high pain tolerance life.
Yeah.
And then realizing that having a high pain tolerance is not like a brownie points thing. It's a like, oh, you had trauma.
Mm-hmm.
It's like you had trauma thing where you're like, I have a high pain tolerance because I can tolerate a ton of pain because I have had to tolerate
it's not
a ton of pain.
That you've tolerated pain either. It's that you've tolerated pain in circumstances that are outstanding.
Yes.
Like, especially if like a lot of my stuff comes from like sailing and racing and being like, I really messed something up, but I have to swallow it because we're
sailing with a dislocated knee and not understanding like how do I deal with that?
Mm-hmm. God, I happened to me several times where I would get stuck in the cockpit.
Yes.
Because
where you couldn't you
couldn't get out of it
because your knees like they would just lock.
And then like you're
like
tipping over at the same time and you're like, oh my God.
And you can't get underneath and
Yeah.
Yeah. Frustrating. And then to like look back on it and be like, wow, my big one is and has been, how did you ignore that?
Right.
As an adult who was responsible for a child, how did you ignore that? How did you justify that to yourself? To ignore that?
I just learned something about myself.
What?
I don't apply that I mean, that's perfectly normal. What you're doing is applying like what the adults in our lives would do.
Oh, yeah.
My brain goes, oh, well, they weren't there, so why would, right? See what I'm saying? Like, my brain's like, oh, they weren't involved.
Well, but why weren't they involved?
Exactly.
Because it was like, ew, gross, you're experiencing something, or ew, gross, you're crying and it's for attention. Go away.
Yeah.
And so now, and I was literally thinking about this last night, where it's like, because I was thinking about how Randy and I are very different. When he is like ill, he wants the like, yeah. And when I am ill or in pain or feel just generally, I don't want anybody near me at all. I will only experience my pain by myself. But but why was that? Because we were told, like, your pain is not, I don't want to see that. That's gross.
Absolutely.
That's obscene. Take that icky thing
away.
The
thought really should be, how did the adults in your life fail you that bad?
Mm-hmm.
That happened, and they either let it happen or they didn't notice.
Both.
Right. But in my brain, it's like, oh, just or no like, adults. That was I don't know why my brain is struggling with this. It's like two different things completely. It's like, well, that was during the times
it's also
that no adults were involved in my life.
If you think about it, like, we raised each other more than we were raised.
Yeah.
Like, that's just how our life was.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's why people thought we were Lori's kids.
Right.
All the time, because who was doing the parenting?
Mm-hmm. It's so weird to think about.
We parented each other.
If anything happened, it wasn't go to an adult, or there was no like,
because adults were dangerous and scary.
Yeah, and seen not
and
heard,
unpredictable
kind of a thing. You
in
know,
a
like
way.
If you were around an adult, it was time to perform.
And
I was like, I can't do that right now.
No.
And
if you perform wrong, like, it's all bad news.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh God, if you do it wrong and then you get picked picked out of the line, and then it's you chastise
singled
that
out,
one, yeah.
and then it's that
you
until
get
it's
made
the next
example
one.
of.
Yep. Sacrificed to the gods of discipline.
Do you ever remember a time when you would set a sibling up for failure out of spite?
Probably, but I don't remember,
not like a very specific, but like, can you
like,
imagine? Because I do remember there were times that we would do that. Like there would be like conversations and be like, well, I did this and now Alex is in shit tons of trouble. You know what I mean? Like I remember that being a thing, being like, well, so and so. It was like, well, I got them back. Like,
well, because it was like Game of Thrones, but
yes,
also
as a child inside of our family, like.
Oh no! Now that I've said it out loud, that is perfect.
You get what I'm saying, though, right?
Oh,
like I'm
I
not
do,
crazy,
yes. No.
but those were that. I do remember times when I got fucked.
Yeah, or a lot of the time it was like gaslighting that would happen, where it was like so and so said this, and then you're like, but they said that, and then they're like, nuh-uh, that never happened.
Dude. I struggled with the term
man.
gaslighting because of that. I was like, that's not gaslighting. That's what people do.
To each other.
That's that's what
Laura
we do.
used to gaslight the shit out of me.
I may have participated in that as well. Because it was maybe hilarious.
Well, I was reactive as all hell, so I'm sure it was
But
fun.
like she would tell me,
like,
and I'd be like,
child,
"Oh,
I was like, yeah, okay,
right, I'm doubling down on this. Fuck yeah, this is gonna be great." Oh my god!
Yeah.
Sorry, this is just I'm.
Oh god,
I'm in the memories now, so I'm like, I remember this being a thing.
Yeah, it's crazy when you have to like confront pieces of your life and go like, oh well, that's not normal and healthy.
No,
that did not come from a normal and healthy place.
No, and the fact that we did that to each other was definitely a result of
because it was like you were in trouble until the next one was in trouble.
Yeah.
So how do you get out of trouble?
Exactly. Sometimes
you put the next one in trouble.
Sometimes you had to sacrifice the lamb to save yourself.
Yeah.
Like, it's your turn.
Yeah.
Bump. You're like standing in a line. Boom. Oh no, you're in the
God.
front. You're next.
You're next.
Oh.
Yeah. Oopsies. Oopsies.
Little old me get you in trouble?
Oh no.
Never.
Whoops. Yeah.
Oh, fuck.
Oh my god. But yeah, it's like, why was it like that? Because that was survival.
Mm-hmm.
It was survival.
It was. Well,
that's
see,
just
that's
how it works.
I guess that's the whole thing, is that I still have a hard time identifying trauma.
Yes.
Because
well, and here's the thing too, is like there's two different ways to like think about trauma. You have like big traumatic events.
Yeah.
And then you have like small bits of trauma sprinkled throughout. And so for that, it's like, do we call it trauma or do we just call it a really fucked up, toxic childhood? Which is what I called it forever. People would be like, you are a survivor. And I'd be like, nuh-uh. And they'd be like, no, you are.
Right.
You came out of this situation. And you're like, but it was fine.
The scale for me is always so fucking grandiose because
I
have some really fucked up things that have happened to me. So like those are I have 2 or 3 things that are the trauma. And then there's like everything else is like, well, who cares?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you just discount it because it wasn't
the
trauma.
Right. Everything else, like it just gets pushed down by the heavier ones on top. And
but then you think about it and you accidentally say something, you're at a friend's house and
you're
like,
oh my God, all the time.
It's like when this thing happens with your siblings and they go, what did you just say? Like, you know, like when you would grab forks and stab each other in the eyes for fun. Yeah, you right? And they just look at you in abject horror and you're like, oh, I guess that's not a normal thing. Shit.
Yes. Oh my God, all the time.
Dude, I struggled with that after I moved out.
And then
because people thought I was
at you.
It got to the point where people thought I was doing it on purpose.
Oh my God.
Like you're just saying fucked up shit to say it. Like I'm not.
You're like, no, that was my life. I'm sorry.
I thought this was a normal everyday thing. I didn't know.
Yep. Yes. God, my chest hurts. Oh, oh my
At
God.
least we can laugh about it now.
I know. Well, it's because we've had time to like process it
Yeah.
and understand what it is and where and what we come from. And then understanding like how everything is scaled, because
I hate
our
that,
scaling is really messed up.
that like you can go through trauma, right? And you
Mhm.
can know like who's at fault,
Uh-huh.
but you can also reason out like,
Oh, absolutely.
you're like,
Mhm.
I get why it happened.
Yes.
I understand why
Constantly.
it happened the way it did.
Yep.
And then you feel kind of cheated because you're like, I want to be angry and upset at this person. Like I want to be mad,
Mhm.
but I can't because I
Yeah.
see why.
Yeah.
Like you understand them too
Right.
much to be like,
Well,
"You
it's almost
piece of
like
shit."
being angry at a dog for not being able to climb a tree.
I mean, I am mad at all dogs for not doing that. Thanks for
But-
pointing that out. I forgot about that.
Do you see what I'm saying? It's like
Yeah.
I could be mad that fish don't fly,
It could be, but yeah.
but is that really like
Yeah. It just bothers
you're
me.
asking a fish to fly, stupid?
But isn't that
but-
a trauma response? Isn't that a trauma skill too?
Yes.
Being
Well,
able
because
to like,
the like I don't know how to put it, like the intensified sense of empathy,
mhm.
I think, and being able to see things from multiple perspectives
yeah.
all at once
Yeah.
gives us this like lens of understanding. And then in our brains, we're like, if we can understand it, that is a reason, therefore an excuse
Right.
in a way, right?
Yeah.
Like we can excuse it in our brains because we're like, oh, I know why that happened, blah, blah,
Mhm.
blah. If I can understand it, then it's okay.
Right. Well, and
But in reality, we're like, okay, but those human beings need to be responsible for their own behavior.
There are
And it's not my job to excuse them.
points
and
where
it's-
accountability needs to be taken.
Right.
Yeah. But again, that's not being angry at them. You
Right,
know what I mean?
Right.
Even if
Well-
you're like, I'm holding them responsible for the wrongs that they
Oh,
did
yeah.
to me. You're still understanding, and you're not like, motherfucker. You don't get that rage. You're not getting
Not
it out of you.
anymore. Like for a long time I did. For a
God.
really long time I was just angry. I
Yeah.
was just upset and angry and hurt because like it was like a massive rejection on a like huge scale
Mhm.
that was like, you can't live here for 6 months, therefore you don't have a family anymore.
Right.
And I was like, if I lived there for 6 months, I would have died.
Mm-hmm.
I would have ended it because I needed to get out.
Legit.
But then the punitive aspect makes me angry.
Right.
But also it's like, it's an anger that I can't direct anywhere.
Exactly.
And therefore it become like it kind of is tamped down
Okay.
as time goes on.
Weird thought. But like, if you have anger that you can't direct,
Mm-hmm.
can you then at that point just let it go, or do you have to channel it in some way?
I
'Cause
did a little bit of like channeling.
I was gonna say younger, I would have to do something with it.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
but
And it was
now
self-destructive.
it's- Yeah. Oh yes.
It was
very.
like, I'll just cut to deal with this.
Oh, absolutely. Or
Ooh.
something along those lines. Like
Yes.
I'm gonna do the unhealthy thing now
Mhm.
because I'm a piece of shit.
Yep.
And I am the problem.
Yep. Because I can't be angry at anybody else because
Right.
how do I? You can't.
Right.
You can't.
Do you think as you're getting older, it's easier for you to go, there's no point in it?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Like it's an
It's more of
expenditure
like
of
an
energy.
eye
and-
roll kind of thing these
Yeah,
days, where
okay.
it's like that dumb shit.
Right.
Like it's like, oh, that dumb shit cut you off in traffic, kind of that dumb shit.
Yeah.
Like clearly you are an idiot,
Mm.
but I'm gonna go do my life over here now.
Right.
But it is like, it's also like we have to think about, we've done years of therapies, and
True.
different kinds of therapy.
I don't give myself credit for that either.
Yeah.
But yeah, no.
And I had to be taught how to express anger,
that was
and to,
funny as
like,
hell though.
deal with anger, and to like be angry. And I was like, I don't know how to do this.
I love living through you in
it
that
takes
way.
so much energy.
Like watching you like be angry for the first time. Like
Yeah.
that was crazy.
Yeah.
That literally was an experience that like I don't
Yeah.
like to get the anger out, but I can't be.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't. And then just being like,
Eh.
you motherfucker. motherfucker, and he's like,
Right. Ooh.
wow, that came from somewhere. Damn, girl. But,
Right.
But then
But
expressing it.
Right. And being able to like deal with it in a healthier way, but also in a way that allowed me some peace.
Yeah.
At the end of it.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah.
At the end of the day, there was some peace in that, and being able to be like, okay, well,
I mean, I learned.
I think
a lot
I'm done
through it.
with that. Right.
Like,
I can put that away now.
I was able to put thought into the fact that I've never really had
Yeah.
that anger either. Like, I've never been one to express it.
Right. Well, for me, it was always that, like, they called me Taz growing up for a reason, like the Tasmanian devil, because I was a tornado. I had ADHD. Okay.
Yeah.
And nobody understood how the hell to interact with me, or how to communicate with me, or how I was trying to communicate to get my needs met, or that I like not having my needs met was like that was instant meltdown because I didn't know how to communicate. That I was like, you're not understanding the need that I'm trying to get met. And a lot of them, I'm looking back, a ton of them were sensory needs.
Yeah. I was actually just thinking about it. I can think of specific
Tons
times
of them.
where not sensory, but like I could see the lack of communication. Like, you couldn't articulate
Yes.
the need
Yeah.
properly, which led to a misunderstanding in what your goal was.
Yes. Oh,
and
my
then it would come back to bite you in the ass somehow.
Right. Because it was always like, well, you did this because. And you're
right.
like, no.
Not even remotely.
Wrong.
Right.
Incorrect. But I don't know how to defend myself in court.
It's unfortunate that I can't go back in time and be like, this is what you need.
Mhm.
Like, usually the answer wasn't even that hard.
No.
It was something simple.
It literally would have taken an adult a tiny bit of curiosity to figure it out.
Yeah.
That's what. That's all it was.
But it would turn into a big deal and a meltdown.
Yeah.
And then overreactions, and then.
Yep. And then
just
beating my ass, and then
avalanche of. Like,
and then the
just
beating my
piled
ass
on.
would make me angry, and then I'd take it out on my siblings, and then I'd get my ass beat, and then I'd be angry, and then I'd
Yeah. Legit.
Why is she biting her siblings? Maybe because you keep beating her ass. She's 4.
Well, also, like, maybe they provoked her. I mean,
That too.
it wasn't. You weren't.
Yeah, no.
You weren't this like
Evil creature
in the middle of like
Yeah.
of a serene sea.
But you remember how they used to tell stories? Is like it always painted me as like, oh, you were always the bad kid.
Mhm.
You were from day one. You were the bad child. You were the one who was hard to deal with. You were the one who was having meltdown. You were the one
sorry.
who was like blah blah blah. Like at this point, I know what I am, and
Yeah,
I know
but you
who
were
I am.
the first of the siblings to like understand me though.
Mm.
Like,
But I felt that way about you too.
right, we got
Which
each
is
other.
why we were like, oh my God, we can communicate and
Mhm.
it makes sense. And it's straightforward and it's like explicit.
Yeah, but then it was like, no, you can't.
And I can get my needs
Chris
met.
is bad.
Yeah.
Karina's bad.
And it wasn't, yeah, that's what it really was like. You two can't be together because that would be bad.
Right.
And it started as like, oh, well, you're leaving people out. And then it turned into,
that's right.
oh, it's you two against the
the
world.
world. Yeah.
And I was like, but it kind of is. And they were like, that's the problem.
You kind of created that
And I was like,
situation, and
We had to find refuge somewhere.
right.
And it's not like you allowed me access to my friends
Well, and
ever.
I remember times when it was brought to me that like, well, you're cutting Alex out.
Uh-huh.
So
yeah.
we would include Alex in everything.
Yeah.
You remember like watching anime or like watching like AMVs together?
Yep.
We would like get
Oh, yeah.
Alex specifically.
We
and
would
be
all like lay on the floor in your room and
Yeah.
just chill and like watch things. And yeah.
And I remember specifically including Alex.
Yep.
Because I didn't realize that there was no correct answer. I thought the answer was solved.
Right.
Like, oh shit, I didn't mean to leave him out.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'll include him. I don't care. But it wasn't meant to be a catch. Like, you were not meant to fix the problem.
Right.
You're stop the behavior.
Yes. Yeah.
Ugh.
It was like, that's inconvenient. Knock it off.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it was. It was like, we couldn't be inconvenient.
They shut down our underground Beyblade tournaments.
That was hilarious.
And
And the
our
trading.
trading.
The trading was
Our
the
part
problem.
trading was so fun, though.
It was so fun.
We would like make special Beyblades.
But then one person got upset. The little one. Wasn't it the little one?
And
or was it? I think it was. Sarah didn't want to make a trade, but she did, and she didn't speak up for herself.
Yep.
And then she went to the.
Yeah.
And then they came down on us as though we had been like, yep.
Like we conned her out of it.
Yeah.
But that's not what happened. And
No.
we would have given it back. Because the point, the whole point wasn't that we were actually trading for keeps. We were just like
making the coolest Beyblades out of
the
coolest parts we could possibly
literally
collect together.
It was just, and it was like communal.
Yeah.
There was no like possessive, like, oh, that's
But then
my
everyone
Beyblade.
got mad because my little tiny purple one
was crazy.
Kicking ass.
Yeah,
that thing was beating everybody's ass.
You had the best like weight.
Yeah.
You had that special metal weight. Oh,
had the metal. Oh, so good.
Yeah.
Beyblade, guys. Jesus. Oh, so funny. Christ.
But yeah, like that always broke me. That sticks out because that was one where it was like we were all we all shared the Beyblades.
Right.
Like I was buying Beyblades just to bring them home so that we
could all play.
Right. And then we would make our own special ones and then fight. And then we'd be like, oh, well, Karina won again. Fuck. Try again. Go out. I literally remember going to Walgreens and trying to find
parts
new
to beat mine.
Yeah, exactly.
And then who had the green gold one? Was that one yours?
Yeah.
Because that one eventually took out the purple one.
Yeah.
That one ended my reign of terror.
That was when Alex and I kind of worked on together, though.
Oh, that's right. Yes.
Yeah.
And it was like called the Dragons something.
Yeah, Dragoon something.
I don't remember what it was, but I do. Wow. It's crazy the things your brain can like retrieve.
Yeah.
Out of nowhere. Beyblade. A kid was playing with this metal dragon's fidget spinner the other day.
Oh.
And I freaked out and I was like, oh my God, is that a Beyblade? And he was like, no. And I was like, oh, I'm sad now.
You've ruined my life, kid.
Yeah. That was so much fun. I miss those days. God.
But our underground ring got shut down.
Yeah. It was a bummer. It was like, no, you have to keep your own parts. Everybody gets their original parts back.
And they did. Which was stupid.
Yeah.
Because that wasn't fun.
Because the original parts were stupid. We had to trade for a reason. We were making good ones out of the different things.
Yeah. Like I was saying, I went to Walgreens. I remember like there was at least twice that I went out in the evening to go to Walgreens to buy Beyblades so that I could come back and try and beat your ass with the parts. But
yeah, my purple one was kicking butt.
Yeah.
God.
I started with a green one that was pretty okay. I remember that. I was really proud of that one. I think Alex gave it to me actually.
I think so too.
Because I didn't buy one. It
was like
originally.
green and black.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh well.
Oh yeah. And then somebody broke our ring.
Yeah. I think it was Bug. I'm pretty sure.
It was either Bug or a dog. I don't remember which.
I think it was Bug via dog.
That might have been what it was, yeah.
Yeah.
Who knows? Anyhow.
Let's go on.
That went way
Welcome
off
to
topic.
Beyblade Talk.
Sorry.
Trauma.
Oh. But unpacking trauma is just, I mean, this is what it turns into. This is where we are now.
Because of it.
Yeah.
We would get together and unpack and there was a lot of the confirmation.
Yes.
Like.
Yeah. We did a lot of like, it wasn't like trauma bonding. It was more like, help me confirm that this happened and that I feel a way and that I was okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then that was that we would feel the way together and we were like, okay, this feels safe.
Yes.
Because feeling away was not safe.
Honestly, it was really kind of brave of either of us to do that too.
Yeah.
Considering like we had like that distance kind of built into the relationship.
Yeah.
Like, because it was frowned upon.
Yeah.
Like we weren't supposed to be friends.
Yeah.
So like even as adults, it was like we were wary of each other.
Yes. It was like, am I bothering you?
Right.
I don't know if I'm bothering you.
Like, is this bad? And then in bringing up things and being like, hey, I don't know if this
right.
is
Is this
cool
okay
or
to
not.
talk
Like,
about? I don't know if like.
Yeah.
Because it was like, I think for you, it was like maybe protect me from things that I might not have known about. But then I was like, oh, I knew about a lot more
Yeah, once
than
I
we
knew-
thought we knew about.
once I knew you were in on it, I was like,
Yeah.
oh, thank God.
Yeah,
Because then I wasn't alone.
right.
But yeah, no.
Well, but it makes sense because you'd had a sibling who was like a sibling and then went, actually, never mind. None of that ever happened. I'll be over here pretending.
Yes.
And then never came back.
Yeah.
So it makes perfect sense. I mean,
I made
we've both
myself really
had
sad
that.
just now.
I'm really sorry. I'm really sorry. That was my fault.
I had never really connected that,
Well, and I was thinking about it.
but yeah.
Yeah.
Lori and I used to be so close.
Mm-hmm.
Like we were besties.
Well, and she basically raised the siblings, and then it turned into this like really contentious
yeah.
role of like managing the
Mhm.
siblings.
Yeah, being the go-between. And,
Yeah. But not a good go-between. Like
No.
a big fat fucking snitch on really stupid shit at some points.
Yeah.
Oh.
Fuck, man.
Sorry. Hold on.
And she gets on her phone. This is the
They're
real trauma.
asking me if like what I want to eat
Oh yeah, she's celebrating her birthday.
for
again.
my birthday.
Again, she's old. Yay. Pedro's
Yay,
old. You're old.
Whoop whoop.
You're 32.
Pedro's older than me though. Yeah.
33, 34,
The kids.
35.
I asked the
36?
kid. They were like, "How old are you?" And I was like, "I don't know. Well, yeah, how old do you think I am?"
I don't remember my age.
I don't either. I have to count and think about it. And I was like, "Am I
Pedro
turning
asked me
31
last night.
or am I turning 32?"
He's like, "Oh,
I
you're-
don't remember.
You're 38. You're 38 too, or you're gonna be 39." And I was like,
I don't know. Am I?
"Am I? I think I'm gonna
Where
be 39
am I?
this year."
That's crazy. That means our grandfather is almost 90 and still running around better than both of us.
Yeah, taking my kids to school, picking them up, managing things, going out
You
on
able-bodied
yeah.
man and your social skills and your networking.
He's
and
gonna be like his mom. His mom lived forever.
live forevering.
Yeah.
You can keep doing that. Like
But yeah, please.
I'm
Continue.
not saying don't. Like,
Don't knock until you try
continue.
it.
I don't want to live for. No,
No, you will.
please don't wish
You
that
will.
upon me. I saw a
I don't wish it
commercial
upon you.
where it was like, I'm never going to age because
Yeah.
I keep taking my son's blood. And I was like, none of us
Yeah.
asked for that. Please stop. We don't want to live longer.
We've made genetic vampires.
Please.
Just suck the blood of your eldest,
stop.
and you will live forever.
I think that kid sued eventually, didn't he?
hmm
Yeah. Good. Good on him.
Right?
Sue for the rights of your own
Okay.
flesh.
So, what would be like the takeaway? What's our what's the word? I'm
Trauma
looking for?
processing is hard as hell.
Yeah.
It is going to make you feel so tired and so sick and so hurt sometimes,
Yeah.
but it is so incredibly worth it to be able to connect with the whole of yourself
Yeah.
and just to like incorporate the learning that you've done through the trauma and
Yeah.
to give yourself credit for that learning. Like we know that they're not skills that are like, woo, you should go get trauma so you can have skills like this.
No.
But it is a like, congratulations, you
You've
survived.
That's okay. So that on its own is huge.
Yeah.
I look at it like mental scars because like
Yeah.
I had a nurse once like compliment my arm,
Really?
which was really awkward but very sweet because she was like her point of view was that I survived everything
Yeah.
despite this all going on.
Right.
Like she's like wear it as a badge of honor. Like
Yes.
you survived it.
Yeah. You have survived 100% of your worst
So
days.
to me it's the same thing. It's like a mental scar. It's like
Yeah.
okay, yeah. I mean, I'm proud that I've survived it and weathered it.
That makes sense.
So I can appreciate that.
I like that.
But also I think it's interesting to think about random processing because there's like intentionally seeking it out,
Oh, yeah.
spending the time to
Yes.
better yourself and like
Go
examine.
to therapy.
yeah. But like when it happens randomly,
Sorry.
I think those are really good opportunities
Yes.
to do a lot of growth really quickly.
Yeah.
Because
that's-
they're like, you know what I mean? Like
Have
it's
you
a
ever-
snap.
Have you ever felt weird about talking to your like mental health provider about what we do? Because like I have in the past and been like, My brother and I like to sit down and intentionally go through our trauma together.
Right. Yeah.
Because I feel like it would be, or I felt like it would have been taken as like, oh, we get together and we live in the past.
Right.
But in reality, it's just this like, when I bring it back to my therapist, I can go, yeah, no, it's pre-chewed. I've already partially digested this, and I need your help for this last little bit. And then I have cleared the table, and then
So I think my point is just that when you have those random realizations, not to like
don't run from them.
Seize the opportunity to analyze it.
Yeah.
And experience it again. Because I mean that is you. That's your story. Right. Like that's whether or not it's good or bad, it happened and you're here. And I've always done a lot of growth through those moments.
Yes.
Like I like therapy and I like thinking like intentionally doing it is great. But like the best ones for me have always been like, oh wow, that was really not great. But this is what I learned from it. Yeah. And this is how I can keep it from happening again.
Right. Oh my gosh. The ability to look at yourself or to just even be able to say to yourself, like, we went through that, we survived that, and now I can keep us from situations like that.
Right.
Like, I have the power to protect us from that.
Exactly. Yeah.
That is such a, like, an empowering realization and understanding to be able to be like, well, I couldn't protect me as a kid.
Right.
And I couldn't protect myself as a teen. And I didn't have the tools to, like, identify and protect myself through all of these things. But now I have these skills.
Right.
I know what I'm looking at when I look into the world. And I know how to keep myself safe now.
And others.
Yeah.
Like, that's always great. When you can spot someone heading down a bad path or in a bad situation already and being like, well, I can help you.
Yes. Yeah.
Because I've lived it.
Right.
So yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the point.
And don't run from it. Like, the things you feel will not end you.
Right.
It's going to hurt. But sometimes hurt is not bad.
Right.
A lot of the time, hurt is not bad. Pain doesn't have to be your enemy.
No. No, really, no. Even physical pain, if you want to take it that route, too.
Just in general, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So, yeah.
There you go.
That's the message.
I hope you learned about Beyblade and enjoyed today's journey.
I hope you learned about Beyblade. If you didn't, go home.
Someone send me a purple Beyblade in the mail. That's your job now. Also,
we have a P.O. box now.
Therapy. I love you. God, I want you to be your best you and to have the skills and tools to survive in a world that is absolutely insane. Okay? Do that.
Oh, yeah. Real quick, like, side note, you don't need horrible trauma to go to therapy.
No.
You can use therapy to learn skills that'll help you in everyday life, whether or not you have a horrible, tragic backstory or not.
Right. Yeah. You're alive in 2025. You go to therapy.
Yeah.
There are things go to therapy.
Do it.
You're fine. It's fine.
Just do it.
Go. It's fine. Also, drink water.
Oh, if you're gonna drink water because you want to hydrate so that you don't dehydrate, maybe have a snack because I've heard, and this is just what I've heard.
Hearsay?
You're a snack.
You are a snack. Yeah.
What else?
Go outside. Take your meds. Take them.
Yeah, I need to do that too. So.
Take your meds. I have a half hour till I need to take mine. I just checked.
Yeah, I need to take my meds. I also need to go outside and kiss myself in the rain.
Yes.
Because it's the only way I'll know what it's like.
Facts. Go do that. Go do it right now. You'll feel better.
Record yourself and then post it.
And then let me know how you felt at the end.
We want a written report.
I want, like a 15-page full
double space
account of every second.
MLA?
APA is better.
Oh, let's do APA. Let's get
APA.
And can
cite
you cite
your sources?
You've got to cite.
Cite the rain. Take chemical samples.
I thought she was going to say take chemical drugs, but whatever. Anyways, it's been great, guys.
Love you.
Signing off from the couch yet again.
We might be back on the couch next time. Who knows?
Who knows?
Be good to you, my friends. Be kind to you. Be kind to others. And we will see you in the next one.
Bye.
Bye. wedding.
Yeah, it was good though.
That was good. That was fun.
That was a good episode.
Beyblade. Not for the faint of heart.
That was
That was cute. I really liked that, actually.
That was a good one.
That was fun. Good time.
We did good?
We did good.
We did good on couch?
We did good on couch. I like the couch.
Yeah, I think couch is the play.
Ready?
Yeah.